Next thing we want to do is bore a handle hole to put a handle on this thing so we can start turning it and testing whether it's fitting or not. The blade is cutting or not, I should say. There are a number of orientations you can put the handle in. The slot is going that way, and so we can put it in parallel with the blade, which is what I normally do. If you put it in perpendicular, the handle gets in the way of sighting the reamer, and can also get in the way of, I think that was the issue with it. It was getting ready to, you made it hard to sight. So I usually put it in there parallel with the blade, so we can go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to put it in the vise horizontally here, and I'm going to use the bench top as a reference. I'm going to use a straight edge to kind of push it so that the reamer body is totally flush with the bench top. Tighten that up, and if you remember, I made a score mark. It's kind of hard to see, and it actually doesn't matter really where you put this, but that score mark was where the end of the reamer started tapering off to this point, and so that's where I'm going to bore this hole. So you can put the reamer blade in there and square off of the bench top. So I need to rotate this slightly, so I'll loosen it a little bit, and this is a way to get it the handle perfectly in line with the blade. It matters not at all in terms of use, but it'll make it look like you actually knew what you were doing. So push this flush again, tighten it up. So that gives us our orientation. Now we pretty much want to bore in the center of this reamer would be ideal. And so one way to do that is to take any straight edge, put a little bit of graphite on it. If you use an aluminum straight edge, it'll already have oxidation on it from the aluminum, and then drag this over the top like that, and you'll get a mark on it. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a black mark from the graphite. That's the top dead center of that circle. So then we just bore a hole. I'm going to bore a 1/2 inch hole. So there are two different reamer handle options I'm going to show you. One is permanent. It's just a dowel. It's the easiest option. There's no real reason you need a removable handle, except if you're traveling a lot or shipping these things around the country or something. So a dowel works perfectly well. This is just a 1/2 inch dowel from Home Depot. And then I'm going to show you how to make well, it'll look more like this one where it tapers both ways, but a tapering handle that can be knocked in and knocked back again. So we'll start out with our 1/2 inch dowel idea. And so I've got a 1/2 inch auger bit here. Most dowels from Home Depot are oversized, but you'll want to, if you want to press fit on this, you'll want to check to see what your dowel is running, and then we can just bore perpendicular that way. It doesn't really matter too much, but might as well try and get it perpendicular that way. What is nice is if it's perpendicular this way. Otherwise your handle's coming through the body at a tilt, and that can bias how it feels to use the reamer and look kind of strange both. This one is not so critical because it's just whether it's going through the center of the body of the reamer. So I'm using an auger bit. You could use a brad point bit, anything would work.